Everybody wants to be successful, but let me tell you something right now. Success is never on discount. Success doesn't go on sale. You can't catch it in the clearance section. You either pay the full price or you don't get it at all. You want the dream? You want the lifestyle? You want the car, the house, the freedom? Then you better stop looking for shortcuts. Stop asking how long will it take? And start saying, how far can I go? Too many of you are walking around like life owes you something. Success owes you nothing. It will not apologize for being hard. It will not beg you to keep going. If you want it, you got to bleed for it, cry for it, sacrifice for it. You got friends partying on the weekend, you studying. They sleeping, you grinding. They spending money, you investing. And guess what? That's the full price. There is no buy one, get one free when it comes to greatness. So the question is not whether you can succeed. The question is, are you willing to pay the price that success demands? Because success is never on discount. Success requires full payment. There's no layaway plan, no seasonal discount, no half-off deal when it comes to achieving real success. You can't walk into life expecting to get what champions get by doing what average people do. It doesn't work like that. Success demands everything you've got. Your time, your energy, your sweat, your tears. It will test you, stretch you, break you down, and ask for more. And when you get more, it still won't hand you the prize immediately, because success is not cheap. It never was, and it never will be. When you look at the people at the top, the elite athletes, the millionaires, the creators, the innovators, what you're seeing is not luck or coincidence. What you're seeing is full payment. You're seeing years of sacrifice, hours of practice, and countless failures turned into lessons. You're seeing a lifestyle, not a moment. People say they want to be successful, but then they turn around and treat it like a clearance rack item. They want to give 60% effort and expect a 100% result. They want to show up late, leave early, take breaks, avoid pressure, and still win. That's not how this game works. Think about it. When have you ever gotten something valuable without paying for it? You don't walk into a luxury store and ask for a discount on a Rolex or a Lamborghini. Why? Because you understand those things are exclusive. They represent status, quality, rarity. That's the same way success operates. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't lower its standards to match your convenience. If anything, it raises the bar to see who's truly serious. And if you're not, you get weeded out fast. People love the idea of success. They love the results. They love the spotlight, the applause, the money, the recognition. But very few love the process. Very few are willing to pay full price. They want the mansion, but don't want to build the foundation. They want to be celebrated, but don't want to suffer in silence. They want the benefits without the burden. And success sees right through that. It knows who's faking and who's committed. Full payment means no excuses. It means getting up at 4 a.m. when you don't feel like it. It means studying while others are relaxed. It means choosing growth over comfort every single time. It means showing up even when you're tired, broken, discouraged. It means sacrificing your weekends, your comfort zone, your ego. You don't get to pick and choose the parts of the process you like. You have to embrace the grind in its entirety. You see, success isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who's worthy of the goal. And that transformation, that inner shift, that's what full payment looks like. It's becoming disciplined when you used to be lazy. It's becoming focused when you used to be distracted. It's becoming relentless when you used to quit. Every day you show up. Every day you give your best, you're making a payment. And eventually you earn the right to hold that success in your hands. There's a reason why so few people reach the top. It's not because they lack talent. It's because they stop paying. They give up too soon. They hit a wall and decide the cost is too high. But those who keep going, those who stay hungry, who stay humble, who stay committed, they understand that the pain is temporary, but the reward is forever. They know that success is never denied. It's only delayed until the price is paid in full. And don't think full payment is just about hard work. It's also about mindset. Are you willing to think differently? Are you willing to believe in yourself when nobody else does? Are you willing to stay disciplined when no one is watching? Full payment means owning your journey, taking responsibility for your actions and refusing to blame others. It means saying, oh, if it is to be, it's up to me. When you pay in full, you don't complain about how hard it is. You embrace the difficulty because you know it's shaping you. You don't compare yourself to others. You focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You don't chase success. You attract it by who you become. That's the real cost. That's the real payment. So if you're serious about your dreams, stop looking for coupons. Stop asking for an easier path. The path doesn't get easier. You get stronger. You get wiser. You get better. And as you evolve, as you grow, success starts to come closer. Not because it suddenly became cheaper, but because you became worthy. Success is a test. It wants to know if you're serious. It wants to know if you're ready. And the only way to prove it is through action, not words. Through sacrifice, not shortcuts. Through discipline, not desire. Desire might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. The motivation fades. You can't rent success. You can't borrow it. You have to own it. And ownership comes with a price. So stop hesitating. Stop negotiating with your goals. Pay in full. Show up early. Stay late. Go the extra mile. Do what others want so you can have what others don't. Because once you understand that success is never on discount, your whole mindset changes. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop hoping and start hustling. And when the time comes, when you finally reach the top, you'll know it was worth it. Because you didn't take the easy road. You didn't cut corners. You paid the full price. And that right there is the only way to earn real lasting success. Discipline outweighs motivation. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. We live in a world obsessed with motivation. People search for it, listen to it, wait for it. They play inspirational videos, read quotes, attend seminars, and think that motivation is the magic switch that will change their lives. But here's the reality. Motivation is unreliable. It's a feeling. It comes and goes. One moment you feel like you can conquer the world. The next moment you can't even get out of bed. That's why if you build your life on motivation, you're building on sand. Discipline, on the other hand, is solid. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need excitement. It just needs action. Discipline is the decision you make long after the mood you made it in has faded. It's waking up when the alarm goes off. Not because you want to, but because you said you would. It's going to the gym when you're tired. It's doing your work when it's boring. Discipline is about commitment, not emotion. And that's what separates the winners from the wishers. The truth is, the path to success is not always exciting. In fact, most of it is routine. It's repetitive. It's showing up day after day, doing the same thing over and over, often without applause, without instant results, without anyone cheering you on. Motivation will get you started on day one, but it's discipline that carries you through day 2, day 50, day 200, because motivation doesn't last. But discipline builds momentum. When you rely on motivation, you're setting yourself up for inconsistency. You train when you feel like it. You study when you're inspired. You'll work on your dream when it's convenient. But dreams don't respond to convenience. They respond to consistency. They respond to discipline. You can't be great only on the days you feel good. Champions are built on the days when they don't feel like being champions, but they still act like it. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's brushing your teeth at night, even when you're exhausted. It's eating clean when junk food is calling your name. It's staying focused on your goals, even when distractions are louder. It's keeping your word to yourself, even when no one else will know if you slip. Discipline trains your mind to follow through. It sharpens your character. Every time you choose discipline over emotion, you become stronger. You become more dependable. You become the kind of person who does what they say they'll do. And when life throws chaos your way, and it will, discipline is what keeps you grounded. Because when motivation is nowhere to be found, your habits will carry you. There are countless days when you won't feel inspired. Days when the road gets tough, when progress feels invisible, when doubt creeps in and whispers that maybe you're not cut out for this. That's when discipline becomes your best friend. It reminds you that friend. It reminds you that you don't need to feel like it to do it. You just need to do it. Action first, feeling second. That's the code of discipline. Discipline also creates freedom. It sounds strange, but it's true. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you create for yourself. When you control your time, your thoughts, your actions, you become powerful. You're no longer a slave to moods or distractions. You don't wait for life to give you permission. You take it. You make moves even when it's hard. You do the right thing, not the easy thing. And in the long run, that gives you more options, more progress, more success. Look at anyone who's reached a high level in their field. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. They all say the same thing. Discipline is everything. Talent might get you in the room, but discipline keeps you there. Creativity might spark an idea, but discipline brings it to life. Intelligence might open doors, but discipline walks through them every single day. It's the glue that holds your goals together when motivation falls apart. You'll never always be motivated, but you can always be disciplined. That's a choice. Discipline is about integrity. It's about honoring your commitments, even when the emotion you made them in is long gone. It's about showing up for your future self. You know, and every disciplined action today is a gift to the version of you you're becoming. It's not flashy, it's not glamorous, but it works. And here's the best part. Discipline is not a personality trait. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build. You can train it like a muscle, start small. Keep promises to yourself. Make your bed, stick to your schedule, finish what you start. Little by little, discipline becomes who you are. When that happens, you don't need motivation to win. You just need to keep showing up. People think the greats are special because they're always fired up. That's not true. The greats are special because they do what needs to be done, even when they don't want to. They've trained their minds to push past feeling. They wired themselves for discipline. And that's why they keep climbing when others quit. That's why they rise while others sleep. That's why they finish strong when others never even start. So if you want to succeed, really succeed, don't chase motivation. Build discipline. Create a system. Stick to it. Show up every day like it matters, because it does. Remind yourself that how you feel doesn't determine what you do. Your standards do. Let discipline be your engine, your compass, your edge. Because once you master discipline, you won't need to rely on fleeting motivation ever again. You'll move regardless. You'll grow regardless. You'll win regardless. Success is not about shortcuts. It never has been, and it never will be. We live in a time where everyone wants things fast. Instant fame, overnight riches, immediate results. People chase hacks, tricks, and loopholes as if success is something you can stumble upon or cheat your way into. But real success, the kind that lasts, the kind that matters, is earned. It's the result of relentless effort, not luck. It's the product of discipline, sacrifice, and consistency, not convenient. The idea that you can bypass the struggle and still reach the top is a lie. There's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Every step, every failure, every sleepless night, every early morning. That's the price. You can't skip the hard parts. You can't dodge the pain. The pain is part of the process. It molds you, it teaches you. It shapes you into the person capable of handling the success you're chasing. Everyone wants to be successful, but not everyone wants to pay the price. That's the truth. People want the lifestyle, but not the labor. They want the destination, but not the journey. They want the results, but not the reps. But success doesn't care about your wishes. It responds to work. It rewards the ones who show up, who grind in silence, who do the hard things day in and day out, even when no one is watching. You can't fake the process. You can't pretend to put in the hours. The work exposes you. If you skip the reps, it shows. If you don't build the foundation, the walls will crumble. Success is a reflection of the sacrifices you made. It's the sum of the days you chose to work instead of rest, the moments you stayed focused while others got distracted, the times you pushed through when it would have been easier to quit. There's something powerful about knowing you earned your success, that it wasn't handed to you, that you weren't lucky, that you bled for it, that you stayed when others left, that you kept going when it hurt. That kind of success is different. It brings pride. It builds character. And it stays with you because you didn't borrow it. You built it. The world may celebrate the results, but the real warriors celebrate the process. They love the grind. They fall in love with the routine, the repetition, the small improvements that compound over time. They know there's no single moment that defines success. It's thousands of moments strung together. Oh, someone in back. It's the lonely mornings, the quiet nights, the doubts you fight through, the obstacles you overcome. It's being faithful to the process even when the results aren't showing yet. When you understand that success is not about shortcuts, you start to approach life differently. You stop looking for the easy way. You stop envying people who have made it overnight because you realize that's not sustainable. You start investing in growth and learning and becoming better every single day. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You respect the process. You respect the process. You embrace the grind. You commit to doing the work. This mindset isn't just for athletes or entrepreneurs. It applies to everything. Whether you're chasing academic excellence, building a career, working on your health, or nurturing relationships, there are no shortcuts. You can't microwave mastery. You can't fake effort. If you want something great, you have to give something great. You have to give your time, your energy, your focus. You have to say no to a lot of good things so you can say yes to the best thing. Sometimes the world will try to sell you the dream without the discipline. Social media will show you the highlight reel, not the behind the scenes. You'll see the cars, the vacations, the awards, but not the grind that made it possible. Don't be fooled. Real success stories are written in sacrifice. The people at the top didn't skip steps. They showed up even when they were tired. They practiced even when no one was watching. They lost, learned, and leveled up. The danger with shortcuts is they rob you of growth. Every time you skip the process, you miss out on the lessons. You might get there faster, but you won't be ready when you arrive. You won't have the character, the skills, the mental toughness to sustain success. That's why some people rise quickly and fall just as fast, because their foundation wasn't built strong. They didn't earn their spot, and they couldn't hold it. But when you embrace the long road, something amazing happens. You grow into the person success requires. You become resilient. You become focused. You learn discipline, patience, grit. You discover who you really are when things get tough. And when success finally comes, it fits. It feels right. It's not an accident. It's an outcome. You didn't hope for it. You worked for it. You worked for it, and no one can take that from you. Every step matters. Every small decision adds up. The days you show up when you don't feel like it. The hours you put in when you're not sure it's working. The sacrifices you make when no one else understands. That's where success is born. Not in the spotlight, not in the applause, but in the shadows, in the silence, in the stillness of your effort. So if you're chasing success, stop looking for the shortcut. There is none. Look for the work. Look for the reps. Look for the habits you need to build, the skills you need to learn, the character you need to develop. That's the real path. That's the way. It's not easy. It's not glamorous, but it's worth it. Remember, nothing meaningful comes easy. If it did, everyone would have it. The reason success is valuable is because it's rare, and the reason it's rare is because it's hard. Most people aren't willing to do what it takes, but you can be different. You can be the one who says, I don't need easy. I just need possible. You can be the one who chooses discipline over comfort, consistency over convenience, long-term gains over short-term pleasure. In the end, the journey makes you. The struggle strengthens you. And the fact that you didn't take a shortcut is what gives your success meaning. So honor the process, respect the grind, and keep going, even when it's tough. Because the only way to win for real is to earn it, one rep at a time, one day at a time. No shortcuts, no excuses, just work. There comes a point in every journey where motivation fades. The initial spark that got you started, that rush of excitement when the goal was fresh, eventually that feeling wears off. The early days are easy because energy is high and the vision is clear. But as time goes on, obstacles arise. You get tired. Life gets in the way. Distractions pull at you. And in those moments when your drive is low and no one is cheering you on, you realize something powerful. Motivation will not carry you through. Discipline will. The mistake many people make is thinking they need to feel like doing something in order to do it. They wait for inspiration to hit. They wait for the perfect move, the right timing, the ideal circumstance. But success doesn't work that way. Success doesn't wait for your feelings to catch up. It requires action, regardless of how you feel. If you only show up when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent. And without consistency, you'll never achieve anything meaningful. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said in has left. It's showing up day in and day out. Even when you're tired, bored, or discouraged, it's choosing growth over comfort. Even when comfort is tempting, it's sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term progress. That's what separates the winners from the wishers. Everyone wants it, but not everyone is willing to commit, to persist, to stay the course, even when it's hard. There are going to be days when everything in you wants to quit. Days when nothing seems to be working. When you're making sacrifices but not seeing results. When your mind plays tricks on you, telling you to take it easy, to give up, to stop trying. And on those days, discipline is your anchor. Discipline is your backbone. It's what keeps you grounded when everything else feels shaky. You don't get results from what you do occasionally. You get results from what you do consistently. That's where discipline comes in. Motivation might get you to the gym once. Discipline gets you there every day. Motivation might help you start the book. Discipline helps you finish it. Motivation might get you to try. Discipline gets you to win. When you build discipline, you build trust with yourself. Every time you do what you said you were going to do, even when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you're reliable, that your word means something, that you can count on yourself, and that self-trust becomes a powerful foundation. It builds confidence, it builds momentum, and it builds character. You start believing in your ability to follow through, and that belief fuels more action. Discipline also teaches you how to navigate setbacks. When you're dependent on motivation, failure can break you. A bad day can derail your progress. But when you're disciplined, a setback is just that. A temporary bump in the road, not the end of the road. You keep moving, you adjust, and you keep your eyes on the goal. Discipline keeps you resilient. It teaches you to keep going, not because you feel like it, but because your mission demands it. And discipline is not about being perfect. It's not about never missing a step. It's about getting back on track quickly when you do. Everyone slips. Everyone has off days. But disciplined people don't let a slip turn into a slide. They recognize it, correct it, and get back to work. They understand that progress isn't about being flawless. It's about being faithful, about showing up again and again, especially when it's difficult. The best part is, discipline is a skill. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build. One decision at a time, one habit at a time. You train it like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Do one thing you said you'd do today, no matter how you feel. Wake up on time. Finish that task. Say no to that distraction. And do it again tomorrow. Over time, those small wins stack up. They compound. They change your identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined. And you start saying, I am disciplined. Some days will feel effortless. Others will feel like a battle. But the key is to do the work either way, to push through the resistance, to keep your promise to yourself. Because discipline isn't glamorous. It's not flashy. It doesn't always get applause, but it builds empires. It creates transformation. It turns average into excellence. If you look at the greats in any field, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, leaders, they all have one thing in common: discipline. They didn't become great because they were always motivated. They became great because they were always committed. They had routines. They had rituals. They had a standard for themselves that they refused to drop, even when no one was watching, especially when no one was watching. That's where greatness is built, in the moments when no one else sees. When you stay late, when you get up early, when you do the hard thing over and over again until it becomes second nature. When you delay gratification, when you choose purpose over pleasure. That's when discipline shows its true power. Eventually, motivation will come back. You'll have good days. You'll feel the fire again. But by then, you won't be dependent on it because you build something stronger. You build discipline. And discipline will take you places motivation never could. It will carry you through the dark season. It will help you break barriers. It will lead you to success, not by chance, but by choice. So don't wait to feel like it. Don't wait for the stars to align. Choose to be disciplined today. Choose to honor your goals even when the mood is gone. Choose to act, to persist, to rise. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about how you feel. And when your actions are rooted in discipline, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Success in its truest form demands everything from you. It doesn't come casually, quietly, or comfortably. It asks you to sacrifice, to suffer, to stretch beyond what's easy. When you look at people who've achieved greatness in any field, sports, business, art, leadership, you'll find that the path they walked wasn't lined with comfort, luxury, or convenience. It was paved with long nights, painful decisions, relentless pressure, and often loneliness. To succeed, you have to be willing to pay full price. And that means embracing the pain that comes with the process. Pain is the price of growth. Every level you want to reach requires something from you that the last level did not. You have to let go of old habits, old mindsets, even old relationships. And that letting go, it hurts, but the pain isn't pointless. It's part of the transformation. It's the pressure that shapes you. Just like gold is purified by fire and muscles grow through tension, your character, your resilience, your capacity are developed through discomfort. Most people run from pain. The moment it gets hard, they retreat. They tell themselves it's not meant to be, that it's a sign to quit. But the truth is, pain is not a sign to stop. It's a signal that you're getting closer to something worthwhile. It means you're stretching, you're evolving. And if you lean into it, if you endure it instead of avoiding it, you'll find that pain becomes your teacher. It refines you, it strengthens you. It prepares you for the weight of the success you're chasing. The journey to success is not linear. It's messy. It's filled with failure, rejection, criticism, and setback. You'll have to face nights when doubt creeps in, when you question everything, when the finish line feels miles away. You'll face days when you're misunderstood, underestimated, or overlooked. And it's in those moments that your willingness to endure pain will be tested. Will you keep going when it's no longer exciting? Will you persist when it costs you sleep, peace, or comfort? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often boils down to pain tolerance. It's not always about talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It's about how much you're willing to endure without breaking. Can you handle the grind? Can you keep pushing when it's thankless, when it's lonely, when no one's applauding? That's what it takes. Success doesn't come at a discount. It comes at full cost. And the currency is pain. Look at athletes. The champions are the ones who trained when they were sore, who played through injury, who sacrificed social lives for practice. Look at entrepreneurs. The ones who made it are the ones who faced failure after failure, but kept launching, kept learning, kept grinding. Look at artists. The ones who touched the world are the ones who poured their soul into their work, even when no one noticed at first. None of them got there by staying comfortable. They paid the price in full. Pain also builds perspective. When you've suffered, when you've struggled, when you've worked for something with everything you had, you appreciate the results so much more. You respect the process. You don't take success for granted. And more importantly, you're ready to sustain it. Because success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about staying there. And staying there requires even more discipline, resilience, and sacrifice. There will be times when the pain feels overwhelming, when the weight of your dreams feels heavier than you expected it. That's when you have to remind yourself, this is what you asked for. You wanted to be exceptional. You wanted to rise above the average. You wanted more from life, and more demands more. So take the pain as proof that you're on the right path. You're not suffering because you're weak. You're suffering because you're strong enough to keep going when others would quit. And not all pain is physical. There's emotional pain too. The pain of letting people down, of missing out, of standing alone in your vision. There's mental pain, the stress, the doubt, the pressure to perform. But pain doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're being full. You're being equipped with the toughness, the grit, the inner fire that success requires. The world doesn't reward comfort, it rewards courage. And courage is forged in pain. You have to become the kind of person who embraces the struggle, not because you love pain, but because you love what's on the other side of it. You love the growth, the victory, the impact. You understand that the pain is temporary, but the reward is lasting. You have to believe that every hardship is building something in you, that the tears, the sweat, the setbacks, they all matter. They're investments in your future. And every bit of pain you endure is proof that you're willing to go where most won't. So don't ask for an easy path. Ask for the strength to endure the hard one. Don't pray for comfort. Pray for courage. Don't chase pleasure. Chase purpose. Because your success is not hiding in a life of ease. It's waiting on the other side of effort, struggle, and sacrifice. It's waiting in the place where most people give up. And if you can outlast the pain, you can outlast the competition. You were not born to quit. You were not made to stay in the safe zone. You were created to conquer. And every time you endure pain with purpose, you prove that. You prove that you're more than your feelings, more than your fears, more than your fatigue. You prove that you are built for this. Let the pain fuel you. Let it remind you of your why. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it drive you deeper into your grind. Because once you embrace pain, it loses its power over you. You stop fearing it. You start using it. And that's when you become unstoppable. In the end, success is not just about the destination. It's about who you become on the journey. And pain is part of that becoming, so pay the price. Endure the pain, because success is never on discount, and you're worth the full cost. When you get to the end of your journey, when the sweat is dry, the bruises have faded, and the noise of the doubters has long gone silent, what will matter is not how fast you got there, but how much you were willing to endure to reach it. Success, real success, the kind that's lasting, meaningful, life-changing, it never comes cheap. It never offers shortcuts, and it never lowers its standards for anyone. It demands everything. It demands late nights and early mornings. It demands you show up even when you're tired, when you're broke, when you're discouraged. It demands you keep going when your friends stop, when your motivation fades, when your progress feels slow. And that's why most people never get there, because they're waiting for a sale. They're waiting for a discount. They're waiting for the conditions to be perfect, for the pain to disappear, for the process to feel easy. But here's the truth. Success has never been and will never be on discount. You can't bargain with greatness. You can't negotiate with excellence. There's no coupon code for grinding. You can't walk into the life you want by putting half your heart in. You either give it everything or you stay where you are. The world doesn't hand out dreams. It demands you fight for them. It demands you bleed for them. So if you think you're going to casually stroll into your destiny, you're wrong. If you think passion alone is enough, you're wrong. Passion gets you started, but pain keeps you going. Discipline keeps you going. Grit keeps you going. Every step you take, success is asking, are you willing to pay the full price? And the price isn't always visible. Sometimes it's the sacrifices behind the scenes. Sometimes it's the hours no one sees. Sometimes it's doing what's necessary even when you feel like quitting. That's the price. And no one's exempt. The people you admire, the legends, the icons, the top 1%, they paid that price. Don't let the highlight reels fool you. Behind every championship, every breakthrough, every empire was a story of relentless sacrifice. They stayed in the gym when it was empty. They studied when others partied. They took risks when others played safe. They faced fear, failure, ridicule, and they kept moving. They didn't wait for the pain to stop. They kept pushing through it. They didn't chase comfort. They chased purpose. Because they knew that success lives on the other side of struggle. They didn't run from pressure. They trained under it. They didn't avoid hard work. They married it. And that's why they made it. So if you want to rise, if you truly want to break generational limits, if you want to change your life and leave something behind that outlives you, then you have to make a decision right here, right now. Are you willing to pay the full price? Not when it's convenient, not when you feel inspired, but every single day. Are you willing to go through the pain, the rejection, the setbacks, the doubts, the loneliness? Are you willing to walk through the valley when no one's clapping, when there's no applause, when the progress is invisible, but the pressure is real? Because that's where most people fold. That's where most people say, oh, maybe this isn't for me. But not you. Not anymore. You didn't come this far to quit. You didn't survive everything you survived just to settle now. You didn't wake up with breath in your lungs to live a discounted life. You have something inside of you. Potential, purpose, power, and it's screaming to be unleashed. But it won't be released through comfort. It won't be unlocked through laziness. It comes alive through pressure, through commitment, through pain. That's where the transformation happens. That's where your future is forged. So you have to stop looking for the easy way. You have to stop praying for less struggle and start praying for more strength. Because everything you want is uphill. Everything you dream of is on the other side of hard. And no one is going to carry you there. You got to climb. You got to fight. You got to sacrifice. And the moment you decide to embrace the full cost, no refunds, no excuses, no plan B, that's the moment your life will change forever. Don't ask for your success to be handed to you. Build it, piece by piece, day by day. Let the pain sharpen you. Let the pressure grow you. Let the obstacles refine you. Because that's what it's always taken. And the world, it doesn't care. And the world, it doesn't care about your potential. It cares about your execution. So execute, push, grind, fight. Earn your success. Don't rent it, own it. Because when you pay the full price, you don't just get the reward. You become someone new. You become someone strong, resilient, disciplined, focused. You become the kind of person who doesn't just chase dreams. You catch them. You become the person who wakes up every day with a mission, not a wish. The person who shows up whether it rains or shines, whether it hurts or heals. You become the person who doesn't fold under pressure, but performs through it. The person who understands that pain is part of the process, not a reason to quit, but a reason to keep going. Because you know that success, true success, is earned, is fought for, and is always worth it. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop second guessing. The price will never drop. The sale is never coming. Success is never going on discount. It never has, and it never will. But here's the beauty. Once you pay that full price, once you give it everything, you'll realize that what you gain on the other side is worth infinitely more than what you gave up. You realize that every sacrifice, every ounce of pain, it was necessary. You were built for this. You were created for more than mediocrity. You were made to make a difference. So rise up, pay in full, chase your greatness. And when people ask you how you did it, you'll tell them, oh, I paid the full price. I didn't wait for success to go on sale. I showed up, I sacrificed, and I earned it. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the lucky. It doesn't belong to the talented. It doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who are willing to pay everything they have for everything they've ever wanted. And that's exactly who you are.